Gives a minute. Okay, where are we? I need to sneeze. Oh yeah, at the end of last stream, we added some basic enemy AI in the classic sense. They'll like chase after you and bump into each other, and I don't know. We just started. Just hopping into this, having kind of forgotten what we'd done. It feels good. I don't really want to tweak any of this today. I think this is quite nice. I don't know if you remembered how this looked, but it feels very natural. Like if I group up all the mice. Hey, potatoes. Look at this. Feels pretty good, right? I don't know. If I remember correctly, we didn't have any teleporting problems anymore, right?
Wool ho ho wo wool hee hee.
Like they're pushing each other around a bit, but we had a number we could tweak for that. Oh shit, 96 months, thanks. It's huge. It's also nice where like even if the crowd is this big, you can still kind of push through it. If you're intelligent and you look for like a gap, like there's less mice here, you can kind of push through a little easier than if you go through a dense area. So it's intuitive, I think. It's a gameplay thing. If for some reason you have iframes or you're invulnerable for some reason, this is nice. No complaints. And yeah, as I said, we have like some shit we can tweak with this if we want to really balance it in the future, but for now this looks perfectly fine. And I think it looks a lot more complex than it is, if that makes sense. Because they're all pushing each other around, they're all looking to path exactly to the player. And I think if we were to go long enough, they would try their best, but they're all trying to move towards the player in the exact same way, and they're pushing each other apart, which leads to this sort of like horde behavior, which is completely, what's the word? Evolving? That's not the word. Well, what's the word for gameplay where like it's not designed, it just kind of results from systems interacting? I can't think of the word. I think it begins with E. Ephemeral? No. Emergent. Yeah, it's emergent behavior. Which will inevitably happen the more and more systems we add. But I just think it's neat. You know, I think if we were to squeeze in here, it's possible that they could push one mouse in just from them like breaking the collision detection. High enough force will push through a wall. And that could be kind of emergent. Like, it looks like he's jumping. That's not intended. But it looks cool, doesn't it? They're kind of self-sorting as well. Like, there's not actually that much going on here in terms of fancy logic, but there's enough of them. It's a bit like, you know, when you have like two pendulums, and like, they look kind of chaotic, right? This is like 50 pendulums, so it looks like there's some behavior emerging, but not really. I guess it's a bit like AI, where like just enough systems are interacting that it looks intelligent, or in reality it's the same as like opening up the keyboard on your phone and just tapping the fucking autocorrect button over and over. Yeah, you got two pendulums. You talking about your dick and balls, Small? How you doing? Anyway, that's that. We're done for the day. No, just kidding. We just started. Sorry I'm late, by the way. I just had a bath for like an hour and a half. That's why I'm cozy. Got my Phoebe Bridgers shirt on. I've got my jammies. I'm just kind of chillax to the max. Two of them. Two dicks and balls. Anyway, let's have a look at our enemy system and just think about what we need for a moment. Obviously, right now, the system where they just immediately snap to the player, stupid. We don't need that. So we can start by maybe just doing some basic distance check. And now I need to decide how I want to know what their target is, if that makes sense. I think for now it's not worth overcomplicating things. We can just say that enemies, they just want to hit players. That's how we're currently doing it, and I think that's trivial to continue using. Inevitably, we could introduce like a teams or a mask or a concept of aggressive parties or factions, and like, oh, I aggress on this or that, and future thoughts. For now, we can keep things easy and just say, if they're idle. Yeah, look, this is that iterative process I was talking about last time. This first entity thing. If they're idle, and then we get player position, and then whatever, distance, however we want to do this, to, and then my transform is less than some number, 500, I don't know. Only then do we start moving. Like that's the basic idea, and then you can basically move from here. My immediate thought is to get the distance from two things. We have some functions for that already where we're using very fancy math. And by very fancy maths, I mean like basic functions. But my intuitive thought is, you just check if the x is less than x, and if that number is larger than, distance to check. But I'm wondering if there's like a built-in function to do this for me. Like, is there quite literally just distance, or vec2.distance, or standard distance, donut distance 2, something like this? Well, what do you perform for me? I know I'm also looking down here. Like, we have difference. We have position minus position. Like, are we just basically... Can we just do this? We just minus them from each other, and then we perform distance on that? Distance AB, which is shorthand for length B minus A. Okay. And length in this case was what we discussed before, where it was a length of a vector is like a normalized distance. Well, length, I guess. Length A minus B, same result. Is length A minus B the same as length B minus A? Is it because does length do some normalizing? Because 2 minus 10 is minus 8, but 10 minus 2 is 8. But if you normalize that, it's 8. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is a good place to start, maybe. Draw it in paint, and I think you'll see why. Well, I need to know what the length function does. We have A. We have a coordinate grid, right? Let's make this nice and obvious. We'll make it a blackboard for your eyes. We have nice big coordinate grid. A is here. B is here. It doesn't have to do with normalizing. A is here. B is here. I basically want to check like this distance, right? And by doing length A minus B, you're inputting this. Let's say this is at 1, 1, and this is at 2, 2, to keep them simple. If you minus them from each other, do you literally just get 1 and 1? And then you do a length of that. You get 1? I don't know. The fact you're squaring takes care of all signs. Look at the distance formula. Yeah, but he said if I drew it in paint, it would make sense. The problem with me drawing it in paint right now is I don't understand what these functions do. I know what it says. It says length. How long is a piece of string? I can measure it. It's 10 centimeters or whatever. How does the length function do here? Yeah, you either get 1, 1, or minus 1, in which cases the length is square root 2. Okay. Are we doing length in here somewhere? I was just curious. I'm talking about this too much, maybe. But length A minus B. What did you say? Distance AB is shorthand for length. Oh, so distance. Oh, we want to get ignoring return value. Okay. What do you do? Okay. Distance in this case gives you a float back. Returns a distance between P0 and P1, i.e. length 0, 1. Why does it give me a float? Is it because it performs a square root? Question mark? Compute distance dot call. This is kind of hard to read through. Oh, never mind. Length. Can I have a look at this? Is this length in the C standard library? Is this a OpenGL? I wish I could see. Can I build, maybe? Anyway. Doesn't seem to want to let me go further than that. Another GLM function. Okay. Use distance squared here to avoid... You gotta go, GL. Oh, bye-bye. Thanks for popping in. Use distance squared to avoid a square root. Use distance squared to avoid a square root? Why am You both know exactly what these maths functions do. I don't know. I see the word distance in English. I can't read the implementation right now. So I need an explanation of that before I can make a decision. The definition is the standard formula for vector length. Square root x times x plus y times y. Okay. So as opposed to using the distance function, you use distance squared? Sorry? Or is the idea that you just do x times x plus y times y, and then you check your distance, like this number against that? But I just pass in a number that's one order bigger. Is that the idea? I considered using light mode. I haven't, actually. Distance 2, which is just like that without the square root. It's literally just called distance 2. Holy shit, distance is so cool. They made the distance 2. And what does that do? Oh, dot. And obviously we all know that dot VV doesn't use a square root. That's obvious. That's the dot product. And we all remember what dot product does, right? Dot product. Wikipedia. Dot product is the function that takes two, in this case, vectors, I guess, coordinate vectors, and returns a single number. Ah, yeah, of course. I remember that. It's the sum of the products. A times A dot x times B dot x plus A dot y times B dot y. Ah, okay, so that's the interior of that x times x plus y times y function. Is that true? And that's why it's squared, right? Without the square root. So is the idea that if I'd handwritten my distance function, I'd be doing x multiplied by x plus y multiplied by y, and then getting the square root of that to get the better idea of the distance. But for this check here, where I'm just seeing how far is the player from them, I can just resolve against this multiplied, this squared number. I don't actually need the square root. I don't need it to be so precise. Is that the idea? Like, I'm okay just getting the big distance. The squared distance. So I just need to use... the coordinate doesn't really matter, I guess. As long as both sides are squared, the result of the comparison is the same. Gotcha. That's very sensible then. Thank you. I can't believe it's called distance 2. It's very... I'll be honest, it reminds me a lot of Android. It was like View Model 2 or something. Hey, look at this! Already. We only pick them up if we're kind of close. So the magic number that I picked... Pretty good. Just completely pulled that out of my ass. Random number. 500. Why not? Let's try 250 and see how it looks. Obviously, they never get off you, but that's fine. This is looking okay for now. A less than B is equivalent to A multiplied by A less than B multiplied by B. Yeah, I get you. I can make the mice a little blind as well. To 100. Obviously, all this shit will be stored. We'll have like a visibility or view distance or something. Look at that. That mouse. I mean, 100's actually pretty perfect. And now you're starting to see, hopefully, why I wanted to go with a more square resolution. Because now, yeah, you can see a little bit of the guy from the left. So you get like a mild boost. In fact, I might go like to a completely square resolution at some point. I don't know. But the idea is like, you don't... You know, if this was a completely 16:9 game, you'd be able to see the enemies from miles away before you can actually interact with them. Or you'd have to have such a large distance to check against on the enemies that north and south of you, they'd start seeing you from ages away. Isn't that cool? Make it clearer, you'd probably type distance to is less than length to 10 instead of less than 100. I guess, will the compiler optimize that? If it sees me doing length over like a, is that an R value? If you just type 10, it's not changing in this case. That would constant fold it. Okay, so I just need to work out. Well, I guess I can use 10 as an example. Length to 7.5. It's amazing how much shit you're taught in uni that just is like nonsense. They tell me like, oh yeah, pre-calculate this shit. Okay. Anyway, this 7.5 I'm going to extract as enemy behavior dot eyesight. I don't know. Vision. What do D&D games normally call vision? Perception. If we're really gonna go gaming, right? You gotta have D&D systems in your game. Otherwise, is it really a game? Perception. Now it sounds interesting. No, range is not D&D enough. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about Fallout New Vegas. I'll be honest. I think it's kind of fun to have stupid names for things. Well, we can give it a better name later, but you know, the idea being, we could have like a relic that's like you and enemies gain perception or something. You know, like a trade-off. Or some enemies can be like they have really good eyesight, or some enemies are like a little blind, like a mole. If it's perception, it doesn't have to be vision. It could be like mole creatures that have sound. They use vibrations to feel. .xy equals sum x underscore I multiplied by y underscore I equals 1n. Thank you, Monus Cook. You're very smart. You're very smart. Look at this. You can have a look at this Inogami Korone, if you like. Or is it her chat? Which one is it? You guys watching Shigeru Ui's stream earlier today? She was going crazy style. Going absolutely crazy style. Sorry, did I just do equals 7.5? I'm so fucking sorry. Oh. Nearly made a terrible mistake. Anyway, you know what, while we're at it. That's right, brownie points. Brownie points. Well, I don't know if you can do this in a conditional, in the brackets thing. Needs a little more sodium chloride. Ever wished you were a Fumo? No, that sounds fucking horrifying. Good lord. And now you can become Const! Yes! I'm kind of the software engineer. Don't know about you guys. New line. Alright, whatever. Ah, const, my beloved. Thinking time. They're doing some good thinking. Look at that. Beautiful. Fucking lovely, lads. Pitch looking lovely today, lads. Oh. Alright. Pitch looking lovely, lads. Alright. I'm really pissed because I really want. You want to call it enemy AI, but I can't have the word AI in any of my fucking projects. I don't want people fucking asking me what I think about Claude's anus or whatever. Like I'm cringe. Or when the military compound fucking invades your side of your work window. Ooh. Ow. Alright, I'm fucking around. Sorry. Can I inline this in here? I should... None of this matters. Okay, so the enemies can now see you. Maybe they shouldn't see through walls, huh? Now we start to complicate things. Thinking time. Think. That's what Winnie the Pooh says. Now I believe we should have a really easy way to do a line check, right? Perhaps checking for collision literally every fucking frame isn't a good idea. So, over time, I may evolve this checking to only happen once every second, you know? Maybe I'll use thinking time in the countdown loop to check for the player. And because of that thinking time, it means that the enemy won't immediately move towards you the moment you're 100 pixels away or whatever. It will, sometimes thinking time will overlap and you'll actually get in a bit. You get me? A little bit of fuzzy logic in there. In fact, why not even already do that? That would be really nice, wouldn't it? A little bit of thinking time. A bit of thinking time for us all. A thinking time. What are you doing with your thinking time there, lad? I'm going to be randomizing your thinking time, if that's okay. And then maybe the enemies should have a base thinking time. Speed of thought. Intelligence. Needs a little more sodium chloride. Well, actually, float intelligence. A little stupid. Maybe I'll just call it time float. Thinking time base. And then I don't know if I still need to keep track of this. We'll check in. And you can just be a float, actually. This is okay. In which case, it's kind of stupid. Like, reading intelligence is kind of hard to understand. Perception, I think, makes sense. Thinking time base. Thinking time. The idea being, like, the enemies will have a minimum of 0.5 seconds that they think. And then some enemies are smarter, some are more stupid. Like the grunts might only check every second or something. And then maybe I'll turn this into a function. I don't know. Because now we're going to use this in a few places. We just need to pass in the randomness thing. Enemy behavior dot reset thinking. Reset thinking time. Am I gonna need the fucking concept of RNG in here? I don't think so. We'll just have float some number. I don't care. And then we'll go like this. I think we'll want to pass in the fuzzy time thing. Components. Go in here. Yeah, I know this is in the header. Don't worry. It's chill. I think time's already included, actually. Now, how do you like your functions? Do you want them to modify things? Or nah? That's a real thought, huh? Doesn't have a return value. You know what? Let's chill. Discard, please. Yeah, you get the idea. It's not returning anything right now. This way I don't have to deal with thinking time base. I still don't really know if I need to keep track of thinking time. Guess we'll see. This will be... You like your functions medium round. Additional thinking needed. When I become a millionaire and I release this shit publicly on GitHub, people are gonna think I'm fucking insane. But I don't care, because I'll be living in fucking Kyoto near the rat shrine. Nah, probably not. Probably still live here. In tinfoil. Okay, well. What's going on? Your thinking time. How do you feel, by the way? I can't remember what you call these style of functions, but you have pure functions and filthy functions. This one is like dot reset thinking time. You're passing some number in. I think it's pretty self-descriptive. But, you know, it's modifying an internal fucking member variable. A bit like a setter, kind of funny. I don't know. You could also extract that. Like on this, you could have this return the thinking time, and then over here you have to say enemy behavior.thinking time equals calculate new thinking time. What are your thoughts on it, developers? There must be some fucking solid principle that says you can't or you should always do this. Nothing wrong with setters if you think the implementation might change. Yeah. Hey Bowser. Is there a solid thing about this? It's like open to no, that's open to extension, closed to modification, or some shit like that. I don't fucking remember. I should remember the solid principle. Let me Google the fucking solid principles. Oh, right, fine. Solid principles. Oh, fucking Uncle Bob. Oh, hit me. Do not Google Uncle Bob Twitter. God. Single responsibility. Yeah, that's fine. Open closed principle. Open for extension, closed for modification. Gotcha. Liskov substitution principle. Wish you had a better name for it, lad. That's not being broken here. Interface segregation principle. Nah, buddy. We're solid here. Phew. Whatever. Uncle fucking Bob. Cringe. Sorry, if you're watching Uncle Bob, you need to rethink what you tweet. Be nice. Anyway, now the enemies have some thinking time. Very smart. I'm going to reduce the base fuzzy time to 0. Like this. What did Uncle Bob do? He's a little J.K. Rowling coded. I think maybe not as bad as her, but like he's a bit of a Trump guy, which not really fashionable right now, I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, he was always quite an opinionated developer. If you've ever looked at any of his videos or any of his teachings or whatever, he's very much preachy. Like, my way is the only way, it's the best way, and your way is shit and stupid, even though there are valid reasons to why you shouldn't be using solid principles in the current year. Maybe they need a revision. But not just solid, but his other teachings are a little questionable in the modern age. Bad vibes, I should say. Bad vibes. But you're welcome to make your own conclusions. It's important you do your own research, and you shouldn't just take what I say as gospel, because I might be a terrible person, or we might not agree on our views. Draw your own conclusions. This isn't a bashing stream, by the way. It's valid to think academically about software engineering, but it's also valid to use a little compassion for humans in your daily life. Unless. Anyway, the enemies now... I want them to not follow you through walls, right? So I think the distance check is probably going to be... not notice you through walls. Maybe they can try following you, that's fine. But I think this distance check is quite lightweight, so I will put the wall checking check inside of here. How we do this, I don't fucking know. Because our collision system is elsewhere, right? To my knowledge, this is the first time we'll be doing like a line check, or in this case, I guess a capsule of like a very thin capsule check. And I don't know if it should be in the enemy system. Maybe it should like shoot a laser out here, and then that should be resolved in the collision system. Genuinely don't know what the best way to resolve this is. It feels weird if to have the enemy system control quite so many things. You want to check for line of sight? Yeah, and right now we can just do a line, but then perhaps at one point we could introduce a cone, so you can like shoot, you can walk up behind enemies quite close, but they can spot you from the front quite well. Some enemies will have a very long, like a long but thin cone. Some will have a very wide but short one. You know how it is. Defense and Slayer ready for tomorrow. I'll be right there, buddy. You want to stream normal time? Or do you have a preference yourself? I'm pretty flexible, I think. Anyway, line of sight. Let me have a look and like a mental thought. We have... Can I not... Oh, paint. What did they do to you? We have this world grid, right? You can't draw straight lines with shift anymore. Okay, whatever. We have this fucking grid system, right? Tiles. And we have parts on the map that are solid. In fact, I'm going to just grey this shit out. Makes it a little easier to see. And I want to see... I think it should be trivial, right? Something here. And I want to either check here or here. In this top case, I'm going to fire a line. It's going to collide here with a wall and here with a wall. So that's a no. Whereas here, no wall. So it's an okay. Pretty easy, right? I'm not going to check for like anything more precise than is there a wall kind of along the way. You could draw a simple line drawing algorithm and check the map for a wall at each coordinate along the way. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like the simplest solution for now. I'm wondering if it can be... The line drawing can be more like drawing a fucking tile. Like we just check one tile at a time like this. And then if we ever implement some kind of Dijkstra or A-star algorithm or something, we've already kind of split... We've already got some thought towards grid-based checking. Because this stuff doesn't need to be precise for now. Things can be a little fuzzy. I think that's honestly for the best. I'll be ready until 7:30 UK. Yeah, it's chill. I mean, just let me know, basically. I was planning on doing a little sailing, because I've not unlocked that yet. Whenever we do our thing. If we have the time, if not, we can just hang out either way. Think of the tiles as big pixels. Well, exactly. And I'm going to be honest, this is not new to me. Like when we did procedural golf, and I did procedural golf, I did stuff with cells and checking for collisions, and like I had my cellular automata caves, as I'm sure you all remember, and I'd generate all these structures, all these rooms, and I'd like tunnel between them, checking for air and walls and stuff. This is not new to me. I just need to think about how it works in our tile space. So I'm guessing we want... I think the map had a get chunks section, right? We've already got a transform. We should have some way to like say check for solids between two coordinates, and we pass in our multiplied by 16 coordinates or whatever it is, and the map just deals with it. I remember watching his talk a few years ago, and he said there's 100 computers in this room, and we programmers rule the world. He also said stuff like functions should be no longer than 5 lines. Yeah, again, like some of the preachy stuff, it gets weird. That's not weird in the like turfy sense. That's weird in like the. You really want to have a file that's like 50,000 lines long with just functions, and you're just constantly jumping between them. Maybe. I think a lot of this stuff is honestly team preference. Go with what your team works best with and stick with it. Don't start refactoring your entire code base because you watched a TED talk. Function should be at least 5 lines. I'm not saying you can Google for the actual bad stuff he did. Like his teachings are things worthy of discussion, but his behavior online is not. I hope. Obviously, you can be yourself, but have compassion. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember. I basically wrote him off. Maybe I was too harsh. Anyway, here we go. We want to get the map, right? Somewhere else we must be getting the map. Infinite writing people off. You'll never be written off, Small, don't worry. I need you. I can smell you. You remember Sea Nanas? It wasn't actually Sea Nanas that did the Morgan Freeman voice, right? It was his friend. What was his name? I don't remember. Anyway, physics system gets the map here. We're already using this calculate collisions thing. Has collision, map.getTile. This might be very easy. I suspect. Yeah, okay, let's have a look. I think we'll be able to work this out without too much hassle. So, enemy system. We're going to write it shit first and then improve it, alright? Keep that in mind. Gonna get the map somewhere. Just nab it up here, I guess. Map, obviously we're gonna have to include that. We could obviously hold on to this in a member variable or something. I don't know how quick it is for the member to get something out of context, or the registry to get something out of context. I'm guessing it's pretty quick. Yeah. Maybe the stuff even gets cached somehow, I don't know. Magic. Anyway, here we've got a map. And in here, I'm going to call if map dot collision between is a little vague. Check for line collision? No. Scan collision between? No. Walk collision? No. Check. Check for collision between. The most complicated thing would be the line drawing, but it's easy to find on Wikipedia. I mean, it's like similar to the anti-aliasing problem, right? Where you have like, I have a grid like this, and I'm trying to draw a line through it. How do you work out where that line has traversed, right? Oh, you can't see my paint, can you? I was just drawing in paint. It doesn't matter. You have a look. It's a common one. Oh, thanks. That's a good name. I'll start there. If map dot collision between, I'll come up with a better name, I'm sure, because collision between makes it seem like they're hitting each other. But I'm sure you guys can come up with a smart name. I don't care right now. Collision somewhere between. You know, like draw line, collision line, line collision. Draw line collision, maybe. Line collision. And if you were doing Objective-C, you'd say between it. Transform. So I want to do it from my position to his. So if it doesn't massively matter, actually. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter. We're just going to get our current position and our target, which is our first entity. No. Player position dot. Yeah. We're gonna come up with that. Has line of sight. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if that implies that if I add glass, they'll see through it but not be able to walk through it. Has line of sight, has solid. You get what I mean? Like the naming here is a little confusing. And yeah, line collision is fine. I think line collision is fine. In my head, I can imagine line collision. You draw a line. Is there a collision on the line? Trains? Yes, there will be these days. Line has collision, has line collision. I wonder what game maker called it, because you'd use this quite a lot. Line has collision. Draw, check line collision. Lime collision. Alright, small. Lime collision. We'll go with that. Bullet, no! Your code base, no! No! How could you do this? Oh, he called it thinking time. He called it lime collision. Oh. Lemon collision. Don't be fucking ridiculous, Donut. Shut up. That's good. Nah, just kidding. We love you, really. What do you think? Vec 3? Const? Yeah. Const Vec 3. Start position. And then you. Whoops. I kind of want to listen to Hatsune Miku, but I feel like that's going to turn people off. Hang on, I'm people. I can just listen to what I want. Yeah, Hex chat. Actually, maybe I'll listen to Azure Reflections fan-made Blue Archive Chiller Range compilation. This is like a really good... I like this. I think this is a good album. Did you guys watch the Ocarina of Time chiptune thing I posted on Discord? It's like fucking half an hour long, like pixel art music video with like chiptune remixes of the Ocarina of Time soundtrack. It's really good. You're more worried about DMCA. Yeah, it's alright. It's not as bad as we thought. They actually stopped just muting videos. I used to have to like nuke like half of the Osu videos just to get them. I think I put it in the music section small on Discord. I used to have to nuke half the Osu videos just to get them visible. Nowadays they all get shown up, but they just accept monetization, which doesn't matter because they get 10 views or whatever. Who gives a shit? I'm happy that people can just watch the video. But weirdly, there's a few songs that do block. So a lot of Japanese artists block stuff in Russia, so it shows up the song as the video is being blocked, and then you click on what countries, and it's like, okay, fine. Apologies to my Russian viewers. I'm sure you've got VPN or something. Can you watch YouTube in Russia? I don't know. I thought they were under like computer lockdown. Maybe not. Anyway, there's like some anime OPs where I guess the company just hasn't changed their YouTube like copyright auto strike in like a decade. So some like older anime OPs will still get your video blocked because the people who own the song just haven't thought about YouTube in like a decade. And I imagine no one's actually collecting the money on the other end. I think like the Smile S intro is one of them, maybe, you know, sort of 2017-ish era stuff. Is that what that was? Anyway, Lime Collision. I'm not actually going to call this. I'm sorry, Small. It's going to confuse me. I'm going to be like, why is it called this? End position, start position. Fine. What are you going to return? Bool. Ball. That's Dutch for ball, if you were wondering. Crazy. Be glad you won't be to blame for the limes. I'd write you on Git blame. Small.com. Right, anyway, so here we're going to Draw. Check. Turn true. Ah. Okay. So, you suggested... What's wrong, little guy? The function is not marked const. Oh, is this function isn't marked const? Oh... Wait, what? Map is a const object. This is a const... Maybe I just need to compile. This is a const function. These are const things. We're not changing anything to the map class. This should work, right? It'll work now when you save. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I know how constness works, right? Okay. Well, anyway, you gave a name. What was it called? Bertrand Russell's algorithm. We stare at a table. Different reflections, different table, same table. What? Oh. Bresenham's line drawing algorithm. Ah, hello Wikipedia. It's a line drawing algorithm that determines the points of an n-dimensional raster that should be selected in order to perform a close approximation to a straight line between 2 points. It's commonly used to draw line primitives on a bitmap image. It only uses integer addition, subtraction, and bit shifting, all of which are very cheap. Epic. Algorithms like Wu's algorithm can be used because they support anti-aliasing. We don't give a shit about anti-aliasing. Oh, I love an algorithm from 1962. Yeah, exactly. His algorithm is literally what I was drawing in Paint. That's epic. I love computer scientists from the 60s. Look at them. They've already got a fucking solution for this. Anyway, saving without compiling is the only enough on your setup. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? VS Code. Good program. Anyway, the following conventions are applied. This is the method. In this example, the top left, we're drawing to the down right. The pixels are all integers. Okay, fine. Yeah, I get it. It chooses the integer y corresponding to the pixel center that is closest to the ideal y of the same x. Sure. The algorithm does not keep track of the y coordinate. It increases by m. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I'm reading with my eyes. I have trouble doing multiple things at once. I'd started reading with my voice, but then I was reading with my eyes, and then I stopped doing, you know what I mean. To derive his algorithm, 2 steps are taken. The first is transforming the equation of the line from a slope intercept form into something different, and using a new equation to draw a line based on the accumulation of error. Oh my word, let's have a look to see if they have some C code. This is an algorithm that uses integer. Plot line, so they have x and y. They're getting dx and dy. It's the distance, I guess. X minus x1 minus x0, dy y minus y1. And then they're multiplying them to get big D. And then they're starting with y0. So if my understanding of the algorithm's correct, it iterates over the x and just moves the y. So it moves left or it moves right, or doesn't move at all and just goes up and down. You have an implementation for the tile map example with better naming if you'd rather look at that. I just wanted to see if I could crack into it from Wikipedia. It would be this, the algorithm's not long. I was hoping I could just work with this. Oh, this only works for octant 0. That is, lines starting at the origin with a slope between 0 and 1 where x increases by 1 each iteration. I mean, yeah, I want to go from the middle. Cover slopes between 0 and -1. Switching the exercise implementation policy on actually conversion is this. A complete solution, you would need to detect whether x large... Okay, so the idea is you have your coordinate grid. I guess I've got Paint. Almost exactly like the pseudocode. What kind of game are you making? Like a shooter top-down arcade game? If I understand this algorithm on Wikipedia, you can't see my Paint. That's awesome. The The idea is... Does it look like anything yet? Well, right now I've just disabled a bunch of stuff, but... Yeah, look. Yeah, mice are a little stupid. I've made them take a little long to think. You know, they're trying. I think I need to decrease their thinking time a little bit. This one's really blind, oh my god. Alright. You get the idea, right? This is where we are. So I'm now just implementing line of sight. So if I walk behind a wall, he won't spot me. What is this, some kind of 3 blind mice? Lads, why did no one tell me that the 3 Musketeers were real? It's like a real thing. They found like the skeleton of the secret 4th one in Maastricht. What's going on with that? Can you guys explain that? Anyway, if I understand this algorithm that we just read on Wikipedia, it goes in a direction. So by default, it goes down and to the right, maybe, I think. If you want it to go in a different direction, so like if we flip this like that, or, you know, flip that like that, you have to basically determine at the start if, which direction to go based on larger than, less than, X and Y. And then it's just a simple algorithm where you step over one at a time, I think. You can read it on Wikipedia. Maybe I will just look at your code for a moment, because this I don't need to implement this right now, do I? Some of them use principles of integer incrementational error to perform all octant line draws. Who's texting me? It's Donut the fucking Viking chap. It's my code drug dealer. Alright. Just DMing me. Here's some code on the down low. My god. This is some shady stuff. You can check it and do 4 separate cases, but there's a way to fold it all into one loop. Of course there is. Of course there is. This is... Let me just check my... Control V first. Yeah, this is fine. This is the goods. This is what he sent me. Offset 2D, that's what we're calling them now, huh? Start with a Vec3, yeah. Rush. Alright, what was this algorithm from? Tile map example. Okay. So he's got a Vec at the start, at the end. I should be caring about Z a teeny tiny bit, but I guess right now that would make line of sight a little bit more tricky. Select greater than start end start. Oh, is this step here is how you decide if you're going to the bottom right or to the top left or something. Size absolute end minus start, fine. You'll want to work on integer coordinates or the algorithm won't work. Yeah, it said it right at the start, right? Oh, I guess Vec3 is float, right? That makes sense. Yeah. I'm just trying to... This might surprise you. I'm trying to do some critical thinking and understand it before I just blindly paste it from your Discord DMs. So I read the documentation that it's based on, and now I'm trying to understand it. A little tricky to do that these days, but I'm trying. God, I'm trying. Anyway, you start somewhere. Error I need to reread, because it mentioned the error thing and I didn't quite get it. Is that stop you from going off bounds? Or is that stupid? I feel like you should immediately be checking, like, if they're the same, but maybe that's stupid. Just ask Grok to make it and tell it not to make mistakes. But then it's just going to draw my code, like, in a weird bikini, right? That's my understanding of Twitter's AI. They've spent billions to make, like, a tool that sends you to jail, functionally. Which is impressive. Anyway. So, you're quite literally painting at a position. This is where we could do our collision check. And just return early. Double error, again, I'll need to read on that. Larger than equals size y, says x, break x. Oh, okay, so I mean, if we're already there, get out of there. We're already there, and get out of there. Error plus equals size dot x, error plus size dot y. And in this case, P is start. How does this work? Let me look at this error thing. I need to check the Wikipedia again. It's an incremental error algorithm. One of the earliest algorithms. That's cool. I like it when early shit's still relevant. Sometimes they just work that out. Imposter. A dynamically rendered billboard texture. Oh. Used to wait, hang on, they're called imposters. A dynamically rendered billboard texture map used to stand in for geometry in the distance, a form of level of detail optimization. So like if you're playing Breath of the Wild, I think like all the trees in the distance are just a sprite, and the same in like Skyrim and all of these games with all these distant foliage. It's just a billboard texture. It's a texture that always faces the camera. That's called an imposter. I didn't know that. The whole select thing is just blah blah blah, but component wise. Select greater than a b, x y is just a larger than b, question mark, x y, but component wise. Oh. So, oh, okay, I get it. So, yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was wondering, this only would let you check for 1 plus 1 comma 1 or -1 -1. But with this select thing, is it check x? Which side are you going, boy? Check y, and then you know you can be 0, you can be -1 1, you can be 1 -1. Okay, that's smart. Thank you. Smart. You're a smart lad. Undeclared identifier select. Oh, alright, let's pop this in. You guys can see my screen, right? Draw, check. Let's see what we got here, lads. Alright, what seems to be the problem here? We've got a license for that line collision. I32 Vec2, that's awfully specific. Are we currently using 32? Will this break at a certain size of the level? Because we're currently going between vector and integer. What do we normally use for that conversion? IVEC3? I just want to make sure we aren't being stupid. It's just int. So on this PC it'll be 64. I think I might just use IVEC32 for now. Yeah, I'll just use IVEC, just to keep things consistent. It'd be nice if the line of sight detection stops working, wouldn't it? Okay, probably literally the same type. Is our Vec2 32-bit in this case? You even called them start position and end position, my beloved donut. It's like me and my colleague fucking wrote separate PRs, but in like the exact fucking same way, and they merged so beautifully because we wrote the same code but for 2 different chips. Oh, it was nice. Vec2 is just Vec2 int. This is int 32. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, on our compiler is int 32-bit here. This is a 64-bit system we're compiling for it. Like int is usually 32-bit, yeah, even 64-bit. Okay. Like at work, it's always 32 because those little chips, they ain't handling 64-bit ints. They're little 32-bit int guys. So, like mentally, I'm in the 32-bit mental camp, but okay. In this case, it doesn't matter. We'll just stick with it. So select doesn't exist. Is that a function somewhere I need to include? Select. Part of maths header? Maybe? Am I including maths? J. It's not called... Oh, it's called math because it's Americans. It's not in there? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Good old C backwards compatibility, etc., etc. C++ select. Where are you? Linux. Should I just... Maybe I should just write this out directly. Or maybe it's GLM? Proc GLM select? What header is this function from? This is a new function to me. Anyway, while we're working on that trouble, you don't think GLM is selected from libdonut v3? Ah, you bastard! You're telling me that if I get the new smartwatch, it can detect when I have heart palpitations from too much coffee? Damn. All right, well I can just write this out, human-wise. Const in sorry, the music's just like one tiny bit too loud. I need to think for a moment. We're just doing a check to say... Like, check for... Do 1 if we're going to the right, and -1 if we're going to the left, and 1 if we're going down. Oh, sorry, 1 if we're going up, and -1 if we're going down, based on larger than or less than for those components, right? Forgive me. I'm assuming that's what that means. Like, step means like I'm stepping in that direction every time. So it'll be, let's just start with X and then I'll think about it. Next step. End start. What does greater than give you? GLM greater than. Turns a component-wise comparison. It gives you a bool. It gives you a vec of L, bool, and Q. Of course. Returns the comparison of the result X larger than Y. Oh, so greater than end and start already gives you, like, which one is larger then, in this case. So why do you need to do this select thing then? Or it's like what you do with this. Is this a bool in there? Who's lying in there? So it's true if it's greater than, false if it's less than. So it'll say like greater than end start. So true if end is up to the top right. That kind of makes sense. And then I guess select based on that bool vec2 gives you either the first gives you if it's the fucking we've got bool, and it gives you a selection from those two arrays based on the result of that calculation. Greater than AB gives you B vec2, Boolean vec. Okay, that's correct. A.x larger than B.x, A.y larger than B.y. Okay, that's what I was saying then. That's good. Who bigger? Huh? Who bigger, huh? So I'm gonna write this out large, and then we'll make it small because my brain's not that fast. I'll just call it greater than lads. B vec2. So if greater than lads dot x, then const int x equals if this thing. Oh, we don't have to do if. 1 or 0 or -1, I guess. And then we'll have y. So I mean we're basically making this, right? Step equals I vec2 x y. Right? That's how I'm reading that. I think that's correct. Right? Looks good to me, I think. So like if the end position's x is greater than the start position's .x, then our final x will be stepping up, will be this way. That looks about right. And I guess what you did was just inline that. And I could furthermore inline this, I'm sure. But let's just shuffle on. I can at least inline it in here. This part of the algorithm does not need to be terribly legible. I think the name is pretty obvious. Why are you feeling minus today? Let's see. Why have I done you like this? So x is this. Y is this. Oh, we're okay. And instead of greater than lads, I'm just going to say end greater than y. End components greater than start components. And how about end greater than start? It's readable enough. This stuff's right next to each other. Okay, fine. So, we've got our direction we're moving in. The size is just the size that we're checking between. Fine. Oh, I was reading up on how that error thing worked, wasn't I? Explain how this error thing works, Wikipedia. In practice, it does not keep track of the y coordinate. That increases by blah every time x increases by 1. It keeps an error bound at each stage, which represents the negative of the distance from A. The point where the line exits the pixel to the top edge of the pixel. This is first set to y0 minus 0.5 due to using pixel center coordinates. The error becomes greater than 0.5. We know the line has moved upwards. So we must increment our y. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, sorry, I don't know if I read that properly, but the way I read this error thing was every pixel is actually split into like 4, but functionally, not literally, but it's functionally split into like 4 quadrants. And we know when this error that we're keeping track of, if it exceeds half a pixel, then it means that the y coordinate has shifted. So in this case, the y hasn't moved because this line is still within half. You know, we've only gone down about a quarter. Here we've only still moved down about like this little bit. Here again, you know, we haven't quite exited yet. And then right here, this I hope you can see my paint. Right here, we're drawing a whole half a pixel away from start, so the y immediately shifts down. And then likewise here as well. That's how I understand this error margin. It's for how you know when to increment or decrement y, basically. And it means that it's not every time we're going down in the line, it's every time we're going down by a whole pixel, basically. That's how I understand this. Hope I got that right. Size.x minus size.y. Okay. And indeed, although in this case you're moving x every time. Double arrow on size.y. Oh no, you're moving x anyway. Double arrow is larger than size.y. Is this just how you've collapsed it into into one loop, basically, instead of into 4 loops? I hear a bubble. It's either Chris finished playing League or it's you. Oh, it's not. It's DK posting a picture of a Digimon. That's not what I was expecting. I sent him a picture of Markiplier punching the camera. Basically, yeah. Okay. Fine. Seems good. Cool. So, xy p.x p.y brush. What I'm actually going to do here is get collision. Now, this is where we need to be very careful because we've been working in a coordinate space that is not the same as the map. So be cautious. How are we doing this in the physics system? Well, we're simply passing in the transform. Gulp. Alright, that's not so bad. But what are we doing to calculate collisions? Well, all this crap, clearly. Has collision, this is what I'm looking for. So has collision, you pass in a tile type, and this is a function on which you pass in a position. Ooh. I guess this, C++. Oh. Alright, anyway, this is basically the chunk I'm looking for. That little bit, that little magic bit. So it just tells you the trial is collidable. Yeah. But just the way it's written at a glance is difficult to stomach. Then you get tile. IVEC tile and tile Z. What are we using as tile in here? Why, of course, it is this. We're doing a floor? Oh, this is because we were doing a circle, alright? In this algorithm, we were drawing a circle on the grid, and we need to align that. Right. Hopefully the static reflection will mean you'll never have to read an X macro again. Donut, I talked about these at work. People have no fucking idea what they are. It's apparently not common enough that like 12 developers, like they were like, oh yeah, I think I knew about this like a decade ago or something, or like I haven't thought about this in a long time. It's like I reminded them of like a type of tea they don't sell at the supermarket anymore. Or if you mention... By the way, did you know it was only called Czechoslovakia for a few years during World War II? It's been Czech Republic and Slovakia, separate countries for like a really long time. They have separate languages. They were only combined for a really short period of time. Why the fuck does my mum call it Czechoslovakia? It hasn't been called that since the fucking 40s. She wasn't alive in the 40s. Is English education so shit that our only understanding of Europe is during World War II in school? We're not taught much about Europe. Just like that small period of time there. And also Egypt, we only taught about like, you know, 3,000 years in the past or whatever. 5,000 years, whatever. So our understanding of Egypt in the UK is like the River Nile and like people getting water out using like old weight-based pulleys. In reality, Cairo is like a city with a McDonald's right next to the skyscraper. It's more common in C, yeah. They're all C++ devs, I guess. Anyway, sorry, I don't know what I just asked. You weren't taught anything about Europe. I mean, we were taught, like, the language, like French and German and Spanish and all that lot. And, like, oh yeah, Italy in the past was this ancient civilization, and Italy right now, don't ask. Actually beautiful. I really like Italy. I want to go back. England, people don't tell the Brits. We're a lot like the Americans. We're taught a lot of like England things, but not a lot of the countries that we live next to things that we have a shared history with, which I think is different to Europe, right? I think you guys are taught a lot more of your combined histories. Like I think if you asked a school child today, what was Germany's shape like 100 years ago? Or you know, was it ever split in, you know what the Berlin Wall was? Or like, do you understand like any of the empires produced by the other countries? Like, people will be like, no. You'd be like, ask someone like where is modern day equivalent of where Persia was? Where was the Persian Empire taking place? What was the Silk Road? The Brits will have no fucking idea. Like, we read the horrible history books on the toilet, so you'd understand, like, oh yeah, the Vikings made soap out of conkers. I remember that. The Vikings, right? Were those Swedish? Norwegians? Not Danish, they were the Danes. Pretty sure they were Swedish. Because I went to Sweden, and they had a museum on Vikings. And I went to York, and they had a museum on Vikings too, and York's like Sweden. Very nice. You were taught a lot about how evil the Danish are. Yeah, bloody Danish. They're getting their fucking pensions and like social healthcare and stuff, and like they're fucking high taxes, but also like high quality of life. Like, what the fuck are they playing at? Like, amazing passport. Like, fucking Danish. Everything's a freezer. You gone to a Danish supermarket? They have a lot of freezers. I like Denmark. I'm gonna go back. Need to remortgage the house. Very expensive. Expensive there. Dutch think they're expensive. Nah. Sure, they were taught the inverse there as well. Yeah. Oh, don't ask the Brits about the relationship between the Danes, the Swedes, the Finnish, the Norwegians. They'll have no fucking idea. I barely have any idea. Like, some of you owned some of each other at some point and then didn't, and you fought, and then like you hate each other but you don't, but you kind of do. And then like some parts of Finland are a bit sort of bordered USSR at some point. I don't fucking know. Swedish Empire? Like, come on now. Let's not make things up. We all know there was only the British Empire, I think. And the Empire Strikes Back. That was another one. Hang on, was that an allegory for the English Nah, probably not. Empire was good in that film, I think. Darth Vader was really cool. You know? Sorry, I'm so fucking distracted. What's going on? You see, like, I don't need social media brain rot. I just need myself in a room by myself with my anime figurines to go insane. I don't need, like, a third-party service to do it. They don't need a behavioral scientist to read me. I am my own behavioral scientist. Sounds pretty deep, huh? It's not. What is Tile and Tile Z? Do the fucking job. Aye. Where am I reading this shit from? Has collision? I'll be in here, right? 0, I guess. I don't actually know what we want to check on. 0 or 1? We'll find out. I'll Google it. And by Google it, I mean I'll just look. And tile in this case is this, of course. I guess I could just check for the current coordinate. I don't need to deal with any of this shit. Maybe just flooring the current position is good. Even then, I don't even know if I need to do this. Let's just see if we can do this with the fucking positions we've got here. Maybe that's okay. Get tile. But I'm fucking stupid. Just make it. Just pass in. Just pass in the fucking P. What is P? Talk to me. 5x2. Sorry, I'm stupid. I really am losing my fucking mind here. It's midnight and I'm talking about fucking Star Wars. What tile were our collidables on? Remind me, Mimi. Mice appear to not know we exist. It's possible that that's just how it is, I guess. Level generator system. Z, add wall. Where are you adding that wall? Generate walls. 0. It's on 0. That makes sense. In fact, I think most things are on 0. Alright, so this is clearly not working. Let's just put a breakpoint and see if this is even being hit, first of all. Good thing the while true loop isn't going infinitely. In fact, oh, here we go. So we got close enough. That's good. I'm really quite stupid. No, I'm not stupid. I'm actually really smart. The problem here is we don't seem to leave the loop ever. That can't be right. Yeah, that's not right. I think it's just when the X and Y are the same, right? Oh, I'm stupid. We want the inverse. It's always just like, just invert it. Just invert it. It's chill. We would have seen I think we would have seen the mouse chasing us if we'd stood behind a wall. It's a stupid mouse. Come on now. Oh. Oh, come on then. I guess, I mean, the algorithm just goes, yeah, look at this. The mice can see us. Eventually. I should make them a little smarter. Hang on. Reset thinking time. Fuzzy time, random time. Fuzzy time, too long. Way too fucking long. 0.5 seconds. Up to a second to see you, I think, is plenty. And then perception for this mouse. I think it's fine, actually. Maybe sleeping mice right now. I'm thinking I should give them, like, a different color or something based on their behavior. Just so I can, like, see if they've seen me or not. You should not see me. He seems to not see me. And now? Now he sees me. Okay. These mice will all see me. Hang on. Let's get one where there's a good wall in between us. And remember, they only have a thinking time. So, like, if you pass into their vision for, like, a second and then pop behind a wall, they might not see you. This mouse here hasn't seen me yet. If I pop out, no, he sees me. This mouse hasn't even had a moment to see me, unless maybe I stand at the diagonal. I guess he sees me at the diagonal, but I could make the line thicker, you know? Like, there's things you can do. I think the mouse seeing you on the corner right now, that's the only issue. That's not so bad. Yeah, look, you can see you right there. Donut's linking me something. It's going to be violent, isn't it? Sneaking up on the mice. Oh, he's seen me. Because what we could say is, like, they have to see you for, like, a certain period of ticks, right? This mouse has no idea I'm here, right? What if? Alright, just to do a super check, I'm going to go to components. No, I don't want to be in this source file. I'm going to give them perception, like, they can see really far, right? Very relevant. Alright, let's have a look. This better be a link to the clangers. No! Dutch adverts! Ah! No! How could you do this? It opened it in like a fucking OBS window, which I don't have an ad blocker in. Oh, I haven't seen an advert for so long. I want to buy stuff. You guys want to buy stuff? Fuck, I don't really want to buy stuff. Oh, here we go. That's Tails. Excuse me? Alright, thanks for that, Donut. So, the corner thing. There's a few things we could do. One is we could just not have corners, but that's stupid. We want corners. Corners are pointy and great. This mouse will never see us. I'm gonna sneak up right. Ah, he saw us. They're so good. They're so perceptive. Like I think he's seeing us. Right. Yeah. I think this is working. Oh, look at him go. Doesn't it look like they always see you? I don't think so. Set the perception to 100, so if there's any line of sight, it will immediately see us, okay? So all mice are seeing us. These lads are not behind wall. These lads are like behind walls, so they aren't seeing us, right? Look how close I can get to this one before he sees us. You got it? Looks good to me. Ship it. Okay, nice. I think you mean, okay, mice? Alright. Very good, very good, very good. Nah, just kidding. There's no fun here. Alright, lads, alright, lads, alright, lads. I've got a license for that. Mice should start shooting you on sight. Bow, 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 bow. Hopefully I was okay. Come on, switch statements, populate. Yeah, I feel really sorry for him. They haven't been apart for this long. She's spending lots of time with the other members though, right? You what? Alright, welcome up here, lad. If we have a target, so they're aware of you, I'm going to say that there is a random fucking chance during their thinking time. Right? Making real good use of this thinking time variable. Really glad I came up with this one. Maybe there's even a way to include this as like a lambda or some function on the mouse. Do afterthought. Have a thought. Consider. Mouse.consider. Expunge. Expose. Explain. That's target. So if we have a target, I'm going to roll a fucking random number. How do we normally use random percentage? Just do less than, right? Random percentage. If the random percentage is less than a certain fucking number. 0 to 100. Lovely. Lovely. Lovely bit of random percentage. Every time he's had a little thought. Exterminate. Oh, shit. What the fuck are you doing? He's gonna have a random little thought. A little thought. Just not a big one. Just a random one. If random thought is less than fucking, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna extract this. Thought. Const auto thought. I'm gonna call it thought. I'm gonna have to say if his thought is less than 20, and then we're gonna do this. If it's less than 40, then we're gonna do well this, and otherwise we just don't have any thoughts. We don't care about the thoughts. So there's a 20% chance he's going to start shooting on sight, mind you, and another chance he's going to move at him, mind you, like this. He's going to shoot. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say he's going to randomly go back to the fucking has target. He's going to stop shooting. He's going to just stop for just a moment. Just a moment. He's going to have a little think. Just have a little think, just for a moment. Just a moment, just like this. Oh, fucking emergent gameplay is going to be absolutely mad. Some mice are going to be a little different to some other mice. Sometimes they'll randomly have little thoughts of their own. Now I just want him to shoot. Thought less than 20. So me IRL. Don't you just mean me underscore IRL? Can't title them, I think. One of those subreddits you had the title had to be me IRL. I don't know. It just became a meme subreddit eventually, like all of them. Me mouse doesn't have a gun yet. Entity factory. Lovely. We're gonna give the mouse a gun. I'm gonna give him his gun, and sometimes I'll take his gun away from him. Lads, I'm gonna add a component called silence. Cannot shoot. Trigger discipline the trigger discipline component. Or the can shoot component, maybe. Should shoot. Different to having a weapon, because if I'm adding and stopping the weapon, I have to fucking store this enemy data on the enemy. I don't think I'm doing that. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have to constantly add predicted firing weapon, add basic firing weapon all the time as he's having his thoughts. I'd much rather just go like that. And obviously, I mean, actually, in our weapons system, we're just checking in here if it has a weapon and a transform. I'm just thinking, dot excluding can't shoot. That seems like a nice little component, doesn't it? I think this is a nice solution, a mice solution. Sorry. Struct. The community's code got unbearable. I mean, all the mods disappeared. Most of them. Most communities became unmoderated, or the moderators were replaced with horrid people. Gun broken. Gun disabled. Weapon disabled. Shooting not allowed. I think this is not too stupid. The humors you have to... I mean, Reddit changed so fucking much. It's not remotely the same platform. That being said, there's still good niche communities, but you have to find the niche communities. Or it's a subreddit just for a specific game and you check it occasionally. I think there was an excluding thing, right? Just that? Maybe? Don't really remember. We don't even need the transform thing anymore, apparently. Really? Alright. Well, you're the fucking smarty. Guess a weapon doesn't have to be in a place. I'm gonna give the mouse a gun, basically. You know what? When the mouse is beginning, add, what was it, weapon disabled? Sometimes it's nice to type just to feel something. Why did I put this at the top? Go to the bottom, you. Do I really need to be shoving this shit in the header as well? You real with me? I guess. So much fucking noise. Alright, fine. You want a fucking signature parameter name? Fine. Anyway, in the enemy system. Nothing stopping you from putting the definitions in the header. Yeah, but then I'd have to recompile fucking everything every single time. Which I'm already doing for components, so I'm kind of wanting to move some of that shit out. I don't want to recompile so much. This is a little this is nice. You already do when you add one, yeah, but when I modify one, I don't. Not that I modify them that often. Yeah. Whatever. How often do you change them? I don't know. I'm not touching that right now. This is fine. Stop adding busy work. Go pick your nose. Finger up nose. Anyway, shoot and target. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Enemy behavior dot enable gun. You're trying to reduce busy work. You fool. You are asking me to do a thing. An idiot. Just kidding. Still there. Still there. Alright, every time I'm gonna make him fucking shoot someone, I'm gonna make him think for just a second. Remove weapon disabled from the entity. This could be a fucking thing. One of those things. This could be a thing. This should be a function in the fucking enemy. There's a lot of duplicated code right here. It's gonna cause problems. Yeah, I'm fucking this up. I should be inconsistent. I should just do this shit. It's a little bonkers, but I think I'm going to rewrite this in like a moment. I'm going to rewrite this. Don't worry. I'm going to rewrite it. I see this being reused. You know, I see the gun thing. Don't worry. I have a plan. I have a plan. This guy is going to immediately stop shooting, and I can't have that. There we go. Now the mice won't constantly shoot, but they should shoot for a bit sometimes when they feel like it. Like when they see you, sometimes they'll move, sometimes they'll shoot, and then they'll stop. Sometimes. That one shot a lot of bullets. You know what? I think they are... I think the weapon to fire is like constant... Yeah, there's that array that's like bullets to fire that's going up, so maybe this is actually quite stupid. Bullets to fire. Actually, you know what? Is their weapon system, right? Is this excluded thing is working? What's the other system? Is it just enemy system? I did make shotguns, yeah. It's this thing. You are being used? You are being used. Yeah, this whole handle weapon thing does not need to be like this. Hmm? Ah, dumb. Dumb. Fucking idiot spotted. Made that mistake. This should help. But notice that they really like to shoot. They should be moving a little bit more often. You seem to be shooting me a little bit too much, little mouse. Why aren't you moving at me? Make a choice, little mouse. They just want violence. Every half a second they're thinking, I don't have to shoot. Sorry, is random percentage not a number between 0 and 100? Let me think for a moment. So the idle to has target thing makes sense. There's a 20%... Okay, moving to target. He has no weapons. You are immediately leaving. You need to have these thoughts less often. Okay? Stop thinking. He's immediately fucking leaving. His thoughts need to be low. Stop thinking so much. All things must happen within the thought space. Now the mice should move. Holy shit, where did he go? Retry. What's wrong, little guy? Set already contains entity. I was hoping that in place would just work. Alright. Fine. I was kind of hoping replace, in place or replace. Yes, that'll do. That'll do. Is that expensive? I don't know. I think this current system will be redone. I'll have something that lets you switch states. Wow. Moving this logic away. Alright, little mouse, why don't you move at me? What's wrong? Why are you staying so still? You could move. Oh, he's moving and shooting. Good lord. No, he's not. Oh, they are moving and shooting. Their thoughts are... They're not moving as much as I'd like. This mouse is going the wrong way. Okay, something's terribly wrong here. The mice are aggressive. They're shooting too much. Why is this lagging so much? There's like 5 mice shooting me. Why is the frame rate so bad? I can compose while iterating and making things up. It possibly may be. What do I do? It's possible that it is. Possible. I thought this weapon disabled entity was actually really smart. Because I can use that excluded flag. Might be okay if the components are included in the one you're iterating over. Well, I'm not. The weapon disabled thing is not being used. That's fine. Not sure though. First of all, I'm going to make him shoot less often. That should help. When they're moving, they shouldn't be shooting. He seems to still be shooting. And also... He's going away. Right, there's some problems in here. I guess we don't reset the movement input, do we? Could I just set this to like 0? I guess. And if he's no longer shooting, should I stop the... How does this work? Is it that the weapon should probably not keep ticking up? I think some of the issue is sometimes it's like building up bullets, and then it doesn't get to shoot them. I mean, this should fix that sliding issue at least. It's basically the equivalent of them like holding a keyboard switch down. Not the smartest lads. I kind of liked it when they were moving towards you a little bit more. It's not like we don't have to disable moving and shooting. This was just something I did as like an example. Music stopped. 1 hour of Earthbound Jazz Remix compilation. Nah, I don't think so. Starry Breakcore mix. Holy shit, I am programming. It is midnight. Breakcore time? Maybe, I mean, maybe this is fine. I would like it if they moved a little bit more often, though, you know? So I'm going to change their thinking time. Their base thinking time is 0.5 seconds. The fuzzy time is between 0 and 0.5 F. So occasionally they take like a second to walk, right? So maybe I should have different fuzzy times, like movement fuzzy time and shooting. Does that make... No, that seems stupid, actually. I mean, I guess I could make it so they shoot you for a minimum of like some number of seconds, and I can use this to 0.25. This song is really fucking low quality. What the fuck? Not that the base thinking time is really making much different right now, but it means it's between 0.25 and 0.5. Why is this song so low quality? How about this other breakcore remix? Maybe you'll be better. Chris is done gaming. Okay, I'm still programming my mice. They have guns now. What does she have to say about the mice with guns? Nothing as of yet. Li-Fi is all the rage. You're not a programmer if you're not using dark mode and listening to breakcore. I think. Where am I from in the UK? I spent most of my time in the south. South of the UK. Let me think for just a moment. I guess some of the issue is that when they have a target, there's a good chance they just sit idle for a little while. But not good enough. I'd like them to sit idle a little more. Oh, there's people talking in this. This is programming music, right? How are you, regulation? Moving. I'd like you to move like a little longer. And to shoot a little longer. Very surf montage, yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'll leave it on for a bit. I wanted to send Chris a picture of the mice with guns. How are you feeling, guys? You want to start moving? I feel like I should give him a little bit more perception, maybe. Because they rethink the moving thing quite so often, they seem to stop quite short of you, don't they? And what you also want is, instead of moving to target, you want them to, like, strafe as well, right? That's a thing, isn't it? I don't know how I feel about this music. They seem a little slow now, don't they? I think they shouldn't be idle for quite so long. How about you make it so they're never idle? They're always shooting or they're always moving. Ish. I mean, there's a off by 1 here, but whatever. I also want to make them more perceptive. So let's give it 100. I mean, it's not worth spending all our time tweaking this right now because this is what ImGUI is for. Like, we'll make a menu to tweak this stuff and then do it until it looks good. But I just wanted to mess with it for 5 minutes. This guy. I think like the bullets shouldn't be going through walls, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. I could simply give the bullets some kind of physics component or something and make them collide. And like get them destroying on collision maybe. It would certainly help with the frame rate a little bit. I think some kind of A-star or similar, or Dijkstra's, or some kind of algorithm to help them get around these walls wouldn't be the worst idea. I know you can kind of budget by just having them move left and right randomly. Oh, why is this breakcore music such low quality? Like it's like 144p. It's the bitrate of 1. I guess this is very level 1, right? Very level 1 coded. The mice also don't ever lose interest. I'm thinking maybe every now and then they should do that collision check again. You can't tell with the stream compression. Oh, that's good for you, I guess. So every now and then, when they has target, I'm going to check for the collision again. If there is a collision, then the target is entity null, and the state is idle. You feel like they need some turn rates. They don't snap between straight lines. They aren't snapping between straight lines in the sense that you might be thinking. They simulate a keyboard direction to move towards you. So they are essentially using the same component as me when I hold the keyboard, except the key being held, or the direction on the control stick being held down, is the angle to me. So yeah, I mean, we can just mess around with their physics. That's not such a big deal. And we can make them update their target more often. Right now it's doing it between every 0.25 and 0.5 seconds. We can make them update more often or even less often. Anyway, right now, if I hide behind a wall, they should eventually stop. They seem to be shooting me like crazy. Hang on. Oh, if they're idle, they should definitely not have a gun. It's a good idea, me. I think this is okay. I think it would also help if I give them like a different sprite or something based on what they're doing, just so I can actually see a little better. So you're like aggressive to me, right? If I go behind a wall, you stop? He does stop, right? He's stopped. And now I come out here and then he picks up again. Then I go behind this wall. Okay, I mean, they do shoot for a while. That's true. These have stopped, though. It's hard to tell, isn't it? What I might do is just add a debug overlay to them. I mean, we've got this tint color, we're never changing. Just for debug purposes, what I might do is just down here. if auto, you see now it's hard to see on your phone screen. That's fair. Your line drawing can skip through diagonal walls. Yes, it will right now. So if they're idle, we're gonna make them white, whatever. If they have a target, I'm gonna make them yellow. If they're shooting the target, I'm gonna make them red because red is an angry color. If they're moving to you, I'm gonna make them green because green means go, and they're going. Also, I'll do this only if there's a debug. Somewhere we have a check for that, right? Maybe render HUD. This thing. I'll just have some toggle for that. And then in game, we're going to tint enemy behavior state. We're gonna have a button. This thing. Toggle. We're gonna say tint enemy behavior state tint. What you making? I'm making a shooty game. Where you shoot stuff. And you run around. And they'll shoot you too. The mice have guns in this game. Let's let it build first. Yeah, we're currently just doing some enemy behavior stuff. As we used to call it, enemy AI. And maybe you still call it that in some places, but I was under the impression that behavior was the more popular term these days. So yeah, the enemy now has its state drawn. So if it's idle, oh shit, that's new. Welcome to the demo effect. When you show something off, it won't work. Alright, anyway, they're white when they're idle, they're yellow when they have a target, they're green when they're going, and they're red when they're shooting. You are not shooting me. I have buggered something up. I have messed something up. Interesting, Surfing Bird. Interesting. Tell me, how did your exams go this week? Let's talk about your school life. Hello. Do you know? You want to get some experience on this? You know all of the Python, and you have some experience on UE5 blueprints. What do you want to learn? C# and C++ are different languages, but it's still software, right? What do you enjoy? Don't provoke the trolls. Unless they want to have a discussion. I'm happy to talk to you about school and stuff. This music is crazy. What's the red actually, sorry? Shooting target should be red, right? So tell me, young man. Why are you sometimes not doing what I want you to do? In place or replace weapon disabled. Oh no, I'm stupid. I'm so sorry. I'm really stupid. When he's shooting you, I've been putting the safety on his gun on when he wants to shoot you. And when he doesn't want to shoot you, I've been taking it off. So he's only shooting you right now if he's idle or if he's moving. Oh, that's not good. Sorry about that. Not hot. Not so hot. Alright, here we go. That should help. This is why it's nice to have the color tinting thing, huh? Making it in JS way better because you can play it in browser. My young friend, I'm going to link you something on Google that's going to blow your fucking mind. If you truly want to see what is possible with modern technology, have a little look at this website. Through the power of his holy light, you can compile C++ using this WebAssembly toolchain and symbolics, and you can play C++ applications within your browser, even on your smart device, if your smart device supports computers. We live in incredible times. You can store up to 6 Pokemon on your belt. Yeah, look at this. Red, he's angry, he's shooting. Green, this one, a little jumpy. I think the velocity continues to build up. Like here. I have a feeling that he's, I need to reset the velocity when they change state from moving. So you're eventually going to stop shooting, and you're going to, like, teleport to me, right? Eventually he's going to stop shooting, or is he just a very aggressive mouse? Maybe they shoot for a little too long. Hang on a moment. As target shooting weapon. How about you stop shooting a little more often? It's okay. Don't worry about it. And I'm thinking that your movement input should be this. Fine. Probably should also change these things. Force and desired speed. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I should change those quite yet. Let me try and see if I can recreate that bug. We just saw him like fling itself, right? I have a feeling the force is just building up. Look at that. You see this? This is new. When they like fling themselves at you. You. Also, where's my overlay window gone? I think I've broken ImGUI again, by the way. I need to reset it. I guess I could put this before the alpha component thing, and then we'd still be able to see if they're getting shot out. These mice are having a lot of thoughts. That's for true. If I hide behind this wall, eventually they go idle. Isn't that cool? They just forget you're there. And then at this point we could construct... Oh, this one really wants to get in there. He's drawing a line between us, I guess. Run with the Mad God vibes. Oh, yeah. This is some pixel art I'd made in, like, COVID. It's old stuff. You're in high school right now and you study software engineer, like this game development thing. So you want to have a 2D shooter game in your mind, but you don't know where to start. What languages are you comfortable with? Because that's a good place to start. If you're just doing a little project, don't be afraid to just use what you're comfortable with. If you say you like Python, Pygame does exist. You can make asteroids in Pygame and have a little experience, and then move on to other things if you like. Unity is perfectly good for 2D stuff if you'd want to learn C#. I don't know how good Unreal is for 2D. I wouldn't recommend that. I think Godot is a decent idea, but you have to learn their... What is it, GD script? Don't know how handy that is. You could try good old Game Maker. Good old Game Maker, GML. It's very good for 2D stuff, but it's probably not going to help you so much at school. Maybe just look into Unity. Anyway, Godot's probably better. Isn't GD script like separate. I'm thinking if you're in school, it's nice to learn another language. Can you just use another language? You can use C#. Oh, never mind then. Yeah, you can just use Godot. Give it a go. Or Godot, if you want to type that in. Yeah. Unreal's very bad. You switched to Unity like yesterday. Sorry for holding you back. Nah, it's chill, dude. It's past midnight. I don't know when I'm streaming until. I'm just chilling. I shouldn't go on for too long. I do have to go to bed at some point, but you know, we'll play more of this in the future. We'll stream more of this in the future. Let me think. Sorry. We were seeing a bug where sometimes the enemy would like just fling itself at you. So let me have a think about what's happening here. I think there's a few systems at play. I think that what do we do in Action Responder when you stop holding onto the key? I'm guessing we don't do anything. Or the direction essentially becomes 0. Which is why I'm surprised that we're currently having an issue. Like, this idea I'm having in my mind, like, this is a mouse, this lovely shape I've just drawn. This is a mouse. I think that, like, while he's in a different state from moving, I think he's, like, still building up some physics, and then when he suddenly goes back into movement mode, he just goes fling, like that. Instead of, like, slowly moving towards you. But I need to be able to recreate it more frequently. So what I might do is just disable the shooting behavior for a moment. Just do this. And just have it so they just move or they don't. Back and forth. Can you see something you don't have any restriction? You have one last question. How did you make this game? From what were the important points? How did you start to make this game? I've streamed the entire development of this, pretty much. You can just flick through my VOD archives. If you scroll on... So I have, like, 3 YouTube channels. This one, if you can just search in the live VODs for the earliest one, if you just type in C++, you'll see it. I have an archive channel, because this project actually started in, like, COVID. You could go back to episode 1, but that shit was jank. That was janky as hell. Not very good. Why are you being mean in my chat, Surfing Bird? You've got a Family Guy reference in your name, or you like old rock? You got a Looney Tunes? What's that? That's Tom and Jerry. You got a Tom and Jerry avatar. You can be kind to one another. Hey Taco Cat, didn't know you were making a game. But yeah, how did I start out? I had an idea that I wanted to learn more about C++ at the time. I was doing other stuff at work, so I just figured this was a good project to start with. I just did it. I just went for it, you know. You can spend forever thinking, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? When should I start? What's the best way to go? It's just start. Make the worst thing you can at the start, and then get better as you move on, you know? I'm noticing that these mice can't see me, and I'm wondering if their hitbox is inside, or if, like, they're checking from this corner to do the line detection. Do you think that's possible? Like, do you think that the line that they're doing this collision detect, or this drawing line detection from, is actually the top left, and not somewhere else? I have a feeling that might be true. So he still thinks he can see me. And if the line drawing algorithm was making sense, then this center, our centers are lined up just perfectly. If I stand slightly off to the side, there's now a line between my center and his top left, so maybe he eventually stops. I mean, I think the sprite origin's at the middle. I'm just wondering why he's not... Why this isn't going into idle, you know? Very spiteful. Yeah. Be nice to each other, guys. I'm just wondering why these guys aren't... Why are they stuck? You see? Like, he should be able to see me, right? Thank you so much. Have a good day. You too, dudes. Just if you're unsure about something, just dive in. Give it a go. Do you think it's not checking the tile it's on as well, maybe? Also, I'm not seeing this like flinging behavior we were seeing before. Maybe that has been fixed somehow. You know what I mean? Or was the flinging because they were spawned inside a wall? Actually, we haven't seen that in a while. Any of you look like you're in a wall? Yeah, I think actually, maybe I'm seeing a different bug. I think sometimes the mice spawn inside a wall. Like this guy here. So eventually he sees me and then he tries to escape. And then, yeah, okay, you know what? Tint color for line of sight could be helpful. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. This is fine. Let me think. I'm just trying to think about how long I want to stream for today. I see Chris is still playing League, or I assume she's still playing League. So I can go for a little longer. Drawing a line. For debug purposes, should I find a way to draw a line? Because LibDonut literally has a way to draw a line. I don't know if I can guarantee that it's drawing in the same way. Is the problem. What engine am I using? I'm using a framework that Donuts put together called LibDonut. Line collision. You know what I could do is I could start using that layer thing. And like as it's checking for collisions, I could spawn tiles in on the map at that position. That sounds stupid. It sounds a little stupid, right? But maybe it's so stupid it'll work. Thin rectangle. Be real with me here. If I spawn in a... You know... Nah, I think that's stupid. I was just thinking I could paint over the level, like with a tile, as it's, as this algorithm's going, but yeah. You've been playing with Godot recently. You don't know what you're doing there. Are you enjoying it? Oh, we don't need to be doing this distance check when we're going back into idle. That's true. Me. Dream game would be a 3D Metroidvania. That'd be awesome. That'd be very difficult to get working as well. I applaud it. Should I just be returning here? Maybe I should be doing this. I actually haven't been seeing... I haven't seen a crash yet. Maybe I should, like, die or something so I can see. I don't actually know what happens to the mice if the player entity just disappears. Hang on a moment. There's an ImGUI buffer I need to read into this thing. Collapsed 1. Let's just get rid of this stuff. Any tips for organizing code in C++? Any tips for organizing code? Well, for a start, having something like Clang formats handy for the code level. But if you mean from like an architectural level, that's a big question. ECS is indeed a nice tool. I'm gonna be honest, there's like books written on the subject. That's very hard to answer in a sentence. I'd suggest further research. Maybe looking at some existing code bases and seeing what you like about it and what you don't like about it. Or looking at your previous projects and seeing what was bad. You know, make good use of your IDE's refactoring tools, for example. If you're starting to get a very long file and you're finding it tedious, you can split it up, but some people like long files, so it's not like a sable solution. What was I doing? You can see the hitbox, by the way. How about this? It's going to be very expensive. You might have to buy a book. You don't necessarily have to buy books. I mean, everyone learns in their own ways. I'm sure there's like free online PDFs that explain these things too. But like, you're asking about software design in general and software architecture. So maybe just having a quick Google for like common software architecture techniques for C++ and see what ticks. Like if you're doing your own project, you have a lot of control. You just do what feels good, honestly. And if you don't like it, you can fix it yourself. If you're working in a team, just use whatever the team's using. That's easy, right? Just adapt to whatever they're doing. Anyway, here, if we're in a debug, I'm going to have a new thing that says draw enemy sightlines. Set it to true. I think it's going to be very expensive because I'm going to make this in a really bad way. I'm going to make this in a really janky way. You might not like this, so careful. Let me think for a moment. Let's see this brightener transform. Fine. I'm just going to say, not just for entities with sprite and a transform, but we're also going to have a no point doing this check twice, not that it really matters. We can have a little pyramid of doom if we like, as a treat. Guys, talking about Godot. Oh, sorry, did I miss something? I should pick Godot. You heard it's nice, you use Unity in your game dev course, but you don't want to use it long term. You tried UE5, but it's a bit much. UE5's really heavy, yeah. Why do you feel like Godot is unknown? It's popular in the indie scene. It's gaining popularity every year, particularly when Unity released their now defunct license agreement, where they were going to charge you per user downloads. Like a lot of people started switching to Godot. It was good advertising. But it is quite recent. Compared to Unity and Unreal, it's quite modern. Asking some rando stream how to organize code, you're already hopeless. You're not the vibe I want in this stream. Could you rethink what you're doing? Be kind to each other. Be nice. You should always ask for help. You should never feel like it's a bad idea. You grow by asking questions and not knowing. I mean, the first step to knowing something is knowing that you don't know it, right? That makes sense? I don't know. I'm full of shit. It's like midnight on a Thursday. Friday now. Anyway, you shouldn't also listen to just what streamers say, that's true. Enemy system. This is Entity Factory. I want to just do one thing before we stop today, and I'd like to get this drawing target thing working. And I'm going to do it in a really janky way for now. In here. I'm going to say, if we're able to get an enemy behavior. Are we already checking for transform? I think so, right? Yeah. So we have an enemy behavior and a transform. So, forgive this whole thing. It's debug code, it's chill. Meticulous. You're in YouTube chat, you'll ask again, you have a 2D game in mind. Which one would you prefer, Godot or Unity? Try Godot. It's new and exciting. See how you feel about it. If you think it's restricted, try switching to Unity. I think... Spend like a weekend with the engine and see if you feel it, you know? You don't have to spend too long on it. A couple hours, see how you're feeling. Try and get like a very basic project done in both before you commit. Oh. See you, Rurik, maybe? Ruish? Bye-bye. You organize code by not doing it and then it becomes incomprehensible. It's foolproof. It is easier. Anyway, I'm going to say if there's behavior, and it exists. Is this the syntax? This might be not wrong. I'm sorry, I played TF2. You're talking about like a competitive league, right? Competitive league and like a cable standard for displays. Or Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's been a while. Behavior, state. When am I checking? I guess it's idle, right? I think this is the syntax. It's a little weird. I'm going to literally try and draw a line. I don't really know how this is going to go. Forgive me. This might look really weird. I don't know if I like this. Rectangle instance. I just want to draw like a line. I guess we have that circle texture thing. Menu background. This isn't. I see what you're doing. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, try your best. Do your best out there. What is circle texture? I don't know. Let's just use it. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's just like a red block or something. So we're going to draw a circle texture. The position is going to be... Oh dear. I'm just going to copy this in for now. Am I going to do that? Look, world.screen position. Oh, maybe this is fine, actually. You just pass in a position. It doesn't have to be to do... It's not actually the player. It's kind of weird that this is in the player. I'm going to be honest with you. That immediately threw me for a loop. Transform.get draw position. I don't know if this is needed. We'll find out. And then how do I... Donut, you suggested I draw a line using a rectangle. Do I have to, like... Hang on a moment. I'm going to say const auto start pos equals blah. Const auto end pos equals blah. This is going to be the target position. And this is going to be my position. I'm going to have to draw a rectangle between those two of some very thin size. Right? I don't know. What, 0, 0? Like, I don't know. 0.5, 0.5? Oh, who knows? Red. In here, we've got an entity. I can give you the code snippet, but it's a bit of maths. Let me think about it for a moment. We've got a behavior here. If other transform target transform. Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to get the target. Hang on a moment. Target. Yeah, target transform is actually foreign. No, he doesn't have a target yet in this case, does he? I didn't use AI to make your Pac-Man game. That's a great question. That's a great question. What do you think the answer is, my dear friend? You're not after my blood, are you? I don't know. Let's look at the enemy system for a moment. Let's just ignore the state the enemy's in and just draw the line for now, maybe. No, actually, that's fine. We'll get the player position. We actually know about that. We've already got the player, maybe? No, we don't. Render HUD system. Somewhere in here you got a player, right? Is it just I mean, the local player is the entity. I guess that's fine. So we're trying to get the player transform. In here we've got the enemy's behavior. And with the target transform, we want to try and get a transform on the local player dot player entity, which I'm going to be real. Should exist, but it might not. I'm just going to say and local player dot player entity. It should be okay. I'll convert to bool. Oh, isn't equal to entity null. About that. So if there's a player and the enemy's idle, fine. We get their transform. And then we get enemy position equals this. We'll get player position equals this. Or just transform.get draw position. Oh, you should just be a like that. We have two positions in the world. We now need to draw a rectangle and then rotate it, right? Is the math something I'm going to be able to work out, Mr. Donut? Maybe I'll give it a quick Google. C++ rectangle from two positions angled. To create an angled rectangle between 2 points, you calculate the midpoint, distance, and angle using atan2, and then you compute the four corners by offsetting from the center using sine and cosine. Okay. This looks pretty long. But also it separates x and y. Okay, let me see. Maybe I can just work this out. It's gonna be a little off, but we'll try. const auto angle equals a tan 2 enemy position layer position. Got angle const auto length equals, let's just use the square root thing for now. Just for now. This is going to be inefficient. It's fine for now. Then you do length back to front? Oh no, you do this one back to front. Angle is player then enemy, right? Then position is enemy then player. I think that's how that works. So you got an angle, you got a length. CX and CY is them added together and divided by 2. So I don't know what C is in this case. Start. So I'm going to say const auto sum vector, I don't know, equals x plus y divided by 2. It's going to be enemy position plus player position divided by 2. And then maybe this is in a brackets. Dot F. Some vector. That's not quite right, is it? My music ended. I think I'm on the right path here. Did I just close the music? Where did it go? I had it open. Oh, it finished. Okay. Give me a project. I don't care. Something like this. Nice. See, I'm getting a message. It's not Chris, it's Donut. Let's see, you're doing the difference. Oh, your maths is a lot simpler than what I was writing. So you calculate the difference as point B minus point A. They're not on top of each other. Then you draw a rectangle instance. At point A, the angle is a tan 2 minus pi divided by 0.5. Yeah? Does that rotate it or what? That puts it into... Oh, what was it called? You have degrees and quaternions? Is it something to do with that? Or no? You're getting just the radius? Like, how's that going on? Poi? Pi multiplied by half. You just swap y and x. You might not need the pi divided by 2. Okay, let's calculate all this nonsense I was carefully thinking about. What an idiot. So position equals... I assume A. Size... we need to calculate the difference. B minus A, so that'll be player minus enemy position. Thank God you can just do calculation on vectors like this. I hope this doesn't need Knuckles the Echidna again. What was it called? Epsilon. You're a Vec 2. Or do I have to do length difference? 0 be Vec 2. Oh, wait. I guess you don't need to put this in. Yeah. Let's see. Texture is whatever. Position is enemy position. Angle equals that a tan 2 thing. And then you pass in difference.y, difference.x. Why is a tan 2 back to front? Why is it doing y and x instead of x and y? Why is it trying to be special? Size is... This is the bit that was a little confusing to me. Length, difference, thickness. Let's just say 1. Let's say 5. I don't know. This isn't quite right. You take multiple things? Float. Atan 2. Float. Difference. Vec 2. Float. What's wrong? Oh, angle. Oh, it's after. Okay, it's just an order thing. You're angry because there's braces? Okay. Origin 0 and 0. Fine. Pink colors, just go with red. I guess we'll see how this looks. What is bro even doing? I'm trying to draw a line to show where the enemy is looking. But I think it's not going to be quite right. We'll find out. Holy shit, chat. Vocals in your music. Can you handle it? The mice appear to be quite angry. Also, circle texture appears to be an actual circle. I should probably do a distance check in here as well, huh? Crazy. You guys can speak Japanese, right? You don't mind? Actually, we already have basically everything we need here. You're N1 certified? Hell yeah. How good's your Toho? What's wrong with little distance too? Are you in a different header you don't have? You should tell me what header you're in. Donut map. We have you. Maybe he's just unsure. Maybe you just need a little build. No, he hates it. What's player position here? You're a transform. Okay. You just want to be target transform then. Dereferenced. Maybe. Do you need to be dereferenced? No. The problem with try get is it gives you potential null pointer, so I just thought maybe if I dereferenced it, it would be chill. Right, you get me? I don't want to transform pointer, I want to dereference it. Is this not the right... Maybe I put a little... one of these lads in there? Address of? That doesn't seem very helpful. That's the whole transform, you just want the position. Oh no, you're right. I think I was confused. I think I still am confused. Maybe it's all good. Something's crashing if we're not careful. Interesting, he can see us through this. Or he can't. Oh, they actually can't see very far, can they? It looks to me like they are not drawing the line from the center. You have nothing checking if it's null. Yeah, I just noticed that. That's a null pointer error. Anyway, the enemy circle texture is bad. If I don't put in a texture, does it just make some shit up? What does it draw? It just draws red? It just draws red. Draw a white texture by default. Great. I'm gonna get rid of the color. Oh, not the color. The check for state. God, this is messy, but you get the idea, right? I also want to do the collision check in here. No, don't be const. You're behaving strange, Elliot. Have you been on the internet? Cool. I'm not a stranger, I'm like a guy. I'm like a whole human. Like, I have like a life and stuff outside of this stream. The things you're saying is like, you're saying it to like a person. I'm not an AI on your phone, I'm like a real person. Just think for like a moment. I know I'm on the other side of like a glass, you kind of have to take my word on it, but like, you can have like a whole conversation with me about like anything. And I could respond, I don't have to, but like we could have like a proper connection here as people. You know? Peer review Andy, you just ain't dissing, you just find it weird. I guess I'm like really fucking funny. I make really good content. Oh. You made the Y 0.5 to make it censored. I didn't see that. What's wrong? Invalid key. Oh. Really? Is this called before we've even placed the systems? The fuck? Okay. Is there not like a dot program contains? Invalid key. I guess in here we're only doing a view if the map exists. I don't really want to do a for loop, I'm gonna be honest with you. Fuck it. We're doing this shit anyway. Let's continue to make it shit. It's fun. Life's exciting if you take horrible, horrible risks. Come on. Run. Think about it. Weapon. Not being used at all. Right. You don't need to be in there. Let's have a look. Oh, it's so slow. But you get the idea. Okay, it's not drawing. That's one thing. The collision detection is happening like a lot, by the way. I just wanted to see it as proof of concept before we make it any better. It does look like they're going from the center, by the way, doesn't it? If I turn off the enemy sightlines, does not get better. Interesting. I mean, we've made a shit thing, haven't we? We're gonna do this in here. This is stupid. Hang on, how come... I guess the map just doesn't exist yet. Okay. So... something like this? Does contains not give you a ball? This looks like it should work to me. And then down here when we're doing map, we'll say if map and map dot whatever. What's wrong here? Imagine being a long-time Woolen subscriber. Yeah, it's crazy. Operand is compatible with null pointer. I've made you null, but I have to make you a... like a little one of these lads? I kind of thought this would just work. Sorry, what is ESL? I thought this was a gaming league. ESL. Urban Dictionary. English as second language. I've never heard this. Is that an insult? Buddy, learning multiple languages is like really fucking hard. I can't stand it. That's a strange take. Buddy, I'm trying to learn another language. This shit's beating me up. It's hard. I'm trying to do DSL, not domain language. I'm trying to learn Dutch. This shit's hard. You're telling me that ik ate cheesecake or ik had cheesecake eaten? Like you fucking switch the order around based on the... I don't know. I don't know any of this shit. Wish you knew a second language. Curious. Alright, look, how about this? STD optional map. How about that? STD optional... How does this shit work? What's the opposite of an optional? Like, what do you put in here? A null pointer? Your friends? I get it. Why is this such a pain? Is it just not just like null pointer? No, it's not. STD. Optional. Null. Empty. None. How's this shit work? Google.com. STD optional. CPP ref. It contains an optional value. I got it, buddy, but what is an optional value? Make optional? Null opt? Create? STD optional... Null opt. I'm not sure what the tries to touch will work out in this case. Null... I thought this would just work. Oh, STD. Alright, I'm taking too long on this. I'm just gonna do this. Life's easier when you just think for like a second. Try to get anywhere, otherwise you're copying the whole map. Yep. I guess that's why it was laggy before. What do you mean try get? This is in context. Context doesn't have a try get. So can you not store a reference in standard optional? Let's just try this. There's some syntax going on here. Alright, we have a pointer. It's also not slow as balls anymore. It doesn't seem to be getting tinted. Oh, I'm stupid. Ugh. Optional references have been a huge point of debate. Fuck, it's 1 AM. Oh no. Come on. Hey, look. So we can actually see... Hang on. We can see when they can see us. Like this mouse here. It's like a little weird how the algorithm's working. I'm not sure if it's actually working the way we want it to. It's possible the line drawing function doesn't match. I might disable their like shooting ability, by the way. You see this one? It was red while we were looking through a wall. That shouldn't happen. Look at this. This line shouldn't be red. Right? This one certainly shouldn't be red. Alright, we've got something to fix. These debug lines are quite nice. This is, by the way, assuming that these coordinates are all matching up. You'll do. This is a nice bush. Go idle, please. Actually, maybe it's fine. Hard to tell. Yeah, I feel like the algorithm isn't working exactly as we want. Like from here, it looks kind of fine, you see? Like it's a whole bush. It waits until it's right off the corner. But when we're close, it seems to detect it faster. Or maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe it's fine. Why were they getting stuck before? This guy, for example. Oh, he just got flung. You see that? He wasn't stuck in a wall, was he? I think I'm going to switch the green and red thing. They made more sense in my head at the time. I'm gonna just DM Chris and just say, I can stop whenever. Did you just start a game? Let's do this. Is this origin thing correct? Because that's not what we're doing with the calculation, is it? We're not doing this. Or is this origin, this is something else? Why this? Like, if it doesn't have that, how does it look? Files, yeah. What was that minus 0.5 thing meant to do? The line still feels like it's being drawn from the same place. Doesn't it? Why is this a collision detection, for example? You see this green line? I'm on the other side of a bush. Obviously you can see like my head, but it shouldn't be checking like that, right? Something's wrong. Do I need to floor or do something like that with the line drawing algorithm? You get my, like, confusion, right? Stacker it's gonna get for a one-line tile thing. Is it possible to make the line thicker? Or is that a stupid thing to say? Because the algorithm just draws, it paints one line at a time, right? Can I just change like the error calculation, for example? Obviously, like, we could check collision on this tile and everything around it, but that's stupid, I think. That would literally make it thicker, but it's not what I want. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe it's fine. Not the smartest, but it would work. The problem is, I think the enemy sightline would get broken too easily in that case. Man, I do like reusing code. Alright. I'm gonna stop for now. I have a feeling Chris just started a league game, but I think this is a rabbit hole. Let me think. What did we get done today? We have enemies moving and shooting and going through states and stuff. Is it worth trying to refactor some of this stuff? Currently we have this line collision thing happening at the same place in 2 places, which is a bit stupid. There's also stuff which hasn't been extracted yet. I don't want to start fucking around with JSON right now, just because it's a hassle in this work. But we could extract some of this stuff. 5 tile plus pattern could also work. Is that the name of something? 5 tile plus algo. 5 block theory. It's a mahjong thing. 5 tile plus. Rhythm. I'm googling this, but it's not showing up. Oh, you mean a literal plus, 1 in the middle and 4 around. My problem is the collision detection is off by like half a tile, not like a whole tile. You know? We already had an algorithm somewhere for filling out everything nearby, right? We were using it in like the level generator. Room. Add room. I think. This thing. We really didn't have a better algorithm than this. Alright. We can try it and just see how we feel, I guess. As collision, I'm just gonna have a thickness. This seems really stupid to me, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Well, fuck the thickness thing. Let's just do this for now. This is a diagonal. We can just get rid of plus and plus. Minus and minus. That's not it. Whatever. If you imagine you had a brush shape like a plus and paint and drew a line with it, it would just make a thicker line with slightly imperfect endpoints. That's true. That's a really good analogy. It also means like this isn't being detected now. I think this isn't what I want. The guy is like me being near a wall in this case is enough to set it off, right? That seems pretty bad. It's too much, yeah. Alright, look, I'm gonna leave it there for today. This is all something to look at in the future when I care. For now, it's good enough. You want to see next thanks for a wall? Yeah. This is good enough for now. I've got a headache as well. My neck kind of hurts. Not a headache, my head's fine actually. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. Good progress today. Right, we got this. We actually got loads done today. We got this like debug view for enemies. We got enemies having states where they shoot you now and they think and they move sometimes and they stop and think again and they'll move and they'll lose interest if you go far enough away. I hope. We could even make it so if you go really far away, they go straight into idle, like without a thought. There's all sorts we can do. There's a lot of refactoring we'll need to do. Because it's a little messy right now. We've got this line of sight thing, which isn't perfect, but it's good enough, I guess. I mean, for a game where you'll be running around shooting stuff, it's intuitive enough, I think. If you turn off all the debug stuff, like, you know, I'm running around, they could probably be a little faster at like noticing you, but I can just give them a longer perception. That's not a big deal. This feels like a game enough. Alright. Well, I'm going to stop there for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 3-hour-long programming stream. It's 1 AM. Go brush your teeth. I'll see you guys next time. Good night. Bye-bye. Thank you, Abby.